Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You are tuned in to the Vitamin D with Dawn Dai podcast, and I am your host, Dawn Dai, here to get you excited about your life so that you can live life on purpose and for a purpose. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. Vitamin D, it's a pun of my name. My name is Dawn, and you get vitamin D from the sun, so I'm here to shed light into your life. And I do this with inspirational insights and conversations with celebrities and everyday people like you and me. Because if you want to be better and you want to do better, then you're going to have to be able to see better. So join me on this journey of living our best lives and understanding and realizing how you are your greatest asset. What I want to talk about is when you're asking for a new thing. I think sometimes we think that we want a new thing, but we're actually stepping into the old thing because the new thing is going to be something different that you've ever received before. And when you talk about a new thing, you got to realize that you're going to have to get the gumption up in yourself to set yourself in a new place that may be unfamiliar with the surroundings. Again, you said that you wanted a new thing. I know myself, I said I wanted a new thing, and I'm uncomfortable. Heck, I'm saying I want a new thing with working out. I'm up here jogging for my life. I'm calling on the Father in the heavens above that I can breathe and that I can make it through. And I was talking to my girlfriend, Mai Tai. She's like, girl, your skin glowing. I said, girl, because I'm fighting for my life as the sweat come out my face. So what you fighting for? What you ready to lay on the line so that you can do what you got to do? Shoot. I just posted up this picture on social media with me in the studio. And I was like, shoot, if I'm not working out, I'm working on my dreams. Period. And you know, I looked at back and it's like, it's been a long time coming. But I mean, what is really a long time when you think about people that have been in the industry like 40, 50 years? I mean, heck, look at Betty White. Isn't she turning 100 this year? And by this year, I mean, it's 2021. Jeez, still going at it. Can't stop, won't stop.
Get your vitamin D right here with me and get excited about your life.
Here recently, Jeremiah, we covered the carpet for EBONY Power 100. And it reminded me of myself 10 years prior when I was him and my boss was me. And a situation happened where we were out of town. And my mentor, my boss, she got upset with me. She got upset with me because something I was intentionally doing to support her, it wasn't viewed that way. We were at a game or somehow, it was some notable celebrity or a past celebrity, somebody, was popping. And I'm thinking about connecting with her to get the guest so that I can get it for my boss. Well, my boss is heading out the door. So I'm stopping and I'm talking to old girl. I was like, oh, I'm Dawn Dai, such and such assistant. Well, my boss, of course, she's not in earshot, so she can't hear what's going on. I get the information. I go there. My boss is like, well, what were you doing? You're supposed to be handling me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, everything I'm doing is for you. But you got to remember, like, things are about optics and perception. And I'm going through this because, well, you know how my mama used to always say, if you want to experience something or you want to know how something feels, you're just going to have to live a little longer. Because it takes time for you to get in those shoes, to walk that feet. You know what I mean? So here we are. She got upset. I really didn't understand why. I'm like, everything I'm doing is for you. I'm saying, like, I'm Dawn Dai, such and such assistant. In fact, I was getting in contact with the individual for my then boss. But now fast forward, now we are 10 years ahead of the game. And so here I am. We're at the Beverly Hilton in Beverly Hills, California for EBONY Power 100. And we're doing the red carpet, doing some celebrity interviews. And this time is different because this is for Vitamin D with Dawn Dai. You know, before it may have been other shows and other companies that I work for, but I'm showing up for Vitamin D with Dawn Dai. Anyway, let's get to the point. So Jeremiah is now me. So the event pretty much wraps up. And so there's another young lady from another outlet, sweetheart, love her, adore her. I know what it's like to be out there one man, band man. So when you out there trying to ride around and get it, whoop, whoop. So she must have asked Jeremiah to take a picture. Of course, like, it's fine. Like, okay. But then there's a moment where I'm standing down from the carpet and old girl is having a whole photo shoot. So, you know, at first I had said, let me digest and let me take this in. And I mean, of course, I could be dramatic, but no, it probably was a photo shoot because there were several pictures. And then, when you get into a selfie moment that you're trying to get the exact and the right shot. So there were multiple shots being taken, but nevertheless, I'm standing there waiting. So I said, well, let me stand in a position where I can be in some sort of view. So maybe Jeremiah doesn't know that I'm waiting or I'm standing here. So let me stand in view. Jeremiah ain't even looking my way, honey. He is taking the pictures. And I said, okay, let me digest. And I felt myself get upset. And I tried to question myself. I said, Dawn, are you on some ego trip? Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you feeling? Because these are things that you think about, especially if you're coming from a space where you're walking in your dreams, you're hiring your team, you have an assistant that you want to grow, that you want to flourish. But then, it's that notion of understanding what your position is, or someone say, play your position. And playing your position is not downing. Playing your position is doing the duties of your position. And at that point in time, Jeremiah's position was to handle Dawn. Jeremiah's position at the time was to handle vitamin D with Dawn Day. And at that time, vitamin D with Dawn Day was not being handled. And perhaps that's what I got flustered with. Now, did I go off? No. But I will say this, and I keep it real, because vitamin D is all about shedding the light on the good and the bad. So sometimes, I'm not going to be always rainbows and butterflies. Like, I might go off. So in this time, I did not go off. I had a chance to digest, but I did feel like I felt the temperature going up in the Aryan realm. And yes, Jeremiah's an Aries too, but I always say, like, he's a different kind of Aries. Like, he's so chill. And if he's turned up inside, you would not know me. You're going to know my facial expressions. You're going to know how I'm feeling on the deal, keeping it real. That's just how I keep it trill. Anywho, but I really wanted to sit back and really see it. And I was able to see from the viewpoint of what it looked like when I was in that position. And what my mentor saw when she looked at me, because it wasn't about understanding that he was trying to help this young lady that did not have an assistant to take the pictures. All I knew was that vitamin D with Dawn Day was there. Dawn is here. I'm your boss. You're supporting me and you're not supporting me. You don't even see me. Now, I'm not saying that anyone's perfect. So I guess the difference that I wanted to make sure with Jeremiah is that unlike when I was in his position 10 years ago, I don't know if I should say unfortunately, because we do with the best we can with what we know, but the patience wasn't exercised the same way because for whatever reason, the timing, whether the person wasn't able to convey their thoughts properly and what is properly in a way that could be received so that I could understand or so that it could be understood what they were feeling. But I began to understand. And, you spend so much time going after your dreams and doing what you want. You want to have that team. You want to have that solid support. So you want your machine to work properly. So I had to sit down there and I had a conversation with Jeremiah. And I said, remind me to talk about this later. And I want to give you a tidbit. Whenever you're feeling upset about something, whether it be work or whatever the situation, take some time and sit on it so you can get your thoughts together. Because I think oftentimes it's just like a teapot or something like that or a kettle. You just start going off the Richter as soon as it's getting hot. Let it chill, let it cool down, let it marinate. Because again, if you know your team and who you're working with, you know what their intentions are. I know Jeremiah's intentions. Jeremiah's for the team. Like, we on a roll, we about to go. Jeremiah is down with the team. So I knew that I wanted him to understand what my thought process was and how it was that you had to handle. So I sat down and I said, listen, I was in your situation as far as being an assistant. And when I had this same situation happen to me, it was viewed from a whole other perspective or the same perspective, but they didn't take the time to explain what it is and how they felt and why they felt the way they felt. And I explained to him, I said, listen, while we're out here, handle me. Make sure that I'm good. Make sure that everything that needs to be executed with vitamin D was taken care of. Now, there was a slight little, could have been a slip up. 𝘲𝘪𝘵𝑒𝑠 was there. Yes, 𝘲𝘲𝑚𝑟𝑒𝑐, yes, spend my life with you. Yes. So we had caught him on the carpet earlier, but as I was telling you, it was wrapping up kind of towards the end, but I didn't get him to do a vitamin D with Dawn Day drop. So as Jeremiah pointed out, as 𝘲𝘪𝘵𝑒𝑠 is passing by, I'm like, can I get a selfie? That could have been a moment for the drop, but we couldn't get it because why? Jeremiah was down on the red carpet taking pictures of old girl. Remember, we got to play our position. And that comes in any aspect of life. And it's not so much of, you succumbing or, you're, woe was me to somebody else. It's just knowing why you're there. And perhaps that even goes with our purpose, like knowing why you're here on this earth. Like, what are you calling yourself to do? And play your position accordingly. And I think oftentimes you can play your position by knowing who you are. And who you are is knowing what you came to do and executing that. So I had to take that moment and I wanted to share that with Jeremiah because I think we're all in the process of going after our dreams. I think we're all onto something bigger and better, And I think oftentimes when things clashes in the workplace or in relationships, it's just a matter of miscommunication. But my God, if you take a minute and you just sit there and talk to somebody and tell them, imagine how easy that is. If somebody doesn't know, they don't know. And you can't expect everybody to be in your head to know how you thinking or how you want to do something. But you can sit there and explain and take the time. And lead by those examples. Like, I could have been the old Dawn and got upset, like, well, my boss did this to me. And I said, no, what would Dawn want to happen? And what I would have wanted, and I'm not saying I didn't appreciate it, but I think I could have received it better had I just taken the time and sit there. And by no means am I saying, oh, it's okay because I was doing it for her. No, I should have played my position. And if she wanted me to get that contact information, she would have had me get that contact information. But see, in me not playing my position, that gives room for other things to be dropped. In the case with Jeremiah, we dropped the ball of getting the drop from Eric Benet. But guess what? Let this happen early. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, okay? Because where we're going, let this be that free mistake. But when it's time for that multi-million-dollar deal or that multi-million-dollar interview that's going to change vitamin D and the whole world's going to be like, or inspirational insight, we're not going to miss it. We're going to catch it. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to catch it. And just because exciting news too, another breakthrough. I kind of mentioned it, but I was so excited about, or not excited, I was so gung-ho about telling this moment of this learning lesson with Jeremiah. But even over all of that, I'm so grateful that Jeremiah was there. But it was so ecstatic to be on the carpet for Vitamin D with Dawn Dai. And can I be honest with you? I tried to get in my own way. I tried not to go. I tried to find every excuse not to show up for Dawn. Have you ever taken a minute to realize or to think about how many excuses that you've made not to show up for yourself? You ever thought about that? I done had times where I probably was running late, didn't know if my eyebrow was done, didn't know if I was going to have my makeup right, but I still showed up for another company. And here I am with Vitamin D with Dawn Dai, had plenty of time, was not going to show up. I'm grateful that I did. I'm grateful that I was able to recognize the voice and say, wait a minute, because being on the carpet, I was able to come back with a Wayne Brady, who I've caught him on several game shows, and I caught him previously at the iHeart Radio Music Awards, and then here. And so he remembers me, and we're in the improv realm. So I'm putting it out there right now. We're definitely going to do some more work together. It was always great catching back up with Major. And, just when people start to get that report, and it's like, show up for yourself. Listen, every day, if you working for somebody else's dream, every day you decide to show up for somebody else. But let me ask you something. You gonna show up for you? I'm gonna need you to do that. I always say how you are your greatest asset. Well, hell, if you ain't showing up for you, what is the asset? It's more just looking like an ass. And it's no shit. I'm just keeping it real. Because I almost didn't show up for Dawn. I said, Dawn, you started Vitamin D with Dawn Dai under a comforter in New York on 140th and St. Nick. 582 apartment 505. Now you out here in Sherman Oaks, California. At Premier Network, sitting in this studio, Vitamin D and Studio E. And you got an opportunity to cover the red carpet. You try not to show up. What? Get the hell up out of here. Remember I was just talking about earlier how, you spend all these years looking back or going forward and building a team. How I'm up here talking about how Jeremiah, I was him 10 years ago. So Dawn, here you go, 10 years fast forward and you thinking about not showing up for you. What did you feel like not showing up for yourself today about? I hope you done changed your mind. Because you got to know that you're worth it. What you think is beating up inside of you for? Why do you think you feel uncomfortable, feel stressed out, feeling like you got to do something more because you're supposed to be doing something more? But you're going to have to take yourself seriously. You're going to have to put the pedal to the metal and make it happen. Dreams don't work unless you do. Just like they say, faith without works is dead. All it takes is the size of a mustard seed. What you sow, you shall reap. What are you sowing? What are you trying to reap? That was deep. All right, let me get out of here. Did y'all love that? That was like a check-in, a go-off. That was whatever, however, for whatever the weather. And let me get I got to do my laundry. Or should I say housekeeping? My bad. All right, guys. I got VitaChest on here. Let me go on to VitaChest. It's been a minute. Oh, in case you're new, in case you don't know, VitaChest is where I have terms in here. And basically anything that comes to mind, and I like to use my whole improv, I'll just say something inspirational about it. Like whatever. So let's see what we got. And I want you to use the Say with your life. I like that. All right, what's the word? Call time. Because I've been in the acting realm and voiceover realm, and even I've done some modeling too, I understand the purpose or how important a call time is. Now, a call time is the time in which you need to show up. Show up perhaps for a job. As we talk about Vitamin D with Dawn Dai, about getting excited about your life and living life on purpose and for a purpose, the call time is to wake up to living your best life. And what that looks like is knowing who you are. What that looks like is investing in yourself. So it's the call time. You ready to wake up? Tick-tock. Tick-tock. It's calling. The time. And you know one thing about time. Once it's spent, you can't get it back. So if the time is calling, my question for you, are you answering? And once you picking up, what is you saying? Faith without works is dead. What you sow, you shall reap. Dreams don't work unless you do. Who's calling you? So yeah, that's what call time is to me. Show up, show up. I said show up. All right. All right, so other housekeeping. Oh, did you enjoy this episode? Have you been enjoying the episodes? I hope you have. I've really been working on making sure of sounding conversational when I'm not in my closet and I'm in the Studio E to be exact. So if you did enjoy it and you here for the ride, understanding we're going to be doing some more of this kind of stuff. And we're also going to be doing more and expanding with the quick doses. That's where I'm using the lyrics of popular music and intertwining it into a motivational message. It's like your little vitamin D morsels to chew on, to digest, to inhale. But if you did enjoy the show, I want you to email me and you could perhaps be a guest, or you can tell somebody that they want to be interviewed on the show and tell them to send the email to VitaminD@DawnDaiSpeaks.com. Like, I would love to have you on. I would love to share your story. I would love to have the conversation. Heck, if you just want to leave a memo, leave a voice note. We play those too, right? And also, if you're like, okay, not so much as being a guest, I want to let you know if you need some advice, I do have Vitamin D advice letters. So you can definitely email those. And I'm telling you right now, I keep it real. I keep it Gucci 1000, okay? Because I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I want you to give it. I want to give it how I would want somebody to give it to me. And that's keeping real so I can see what it is and what it ain't. If we talk about shedding light, we can't be stepping in the shadows trying to sugarcoat stuff, right? Nah, that's not it. Also, if you heard this podcast, you like what I'm saying, and you think somebody could benefit, make sure you tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody else to check out Vitamin D with Dawn Dai. It's available wherever you get your favorite podcast. Like literally, wherever you go and you type in Vitamin D with Dawn Dai, it's going to pop up. That's what we're doing. We clear? Vitamin D is going global, baby. Like, I'm going to be bigger than Oprah. Like, the world will know my name. Like, we talking about yachts and stuff. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I'm speaking out there. Like, I'm speaking out stuff that's so crazy. Like, the universe is going to have to succumb to it. Like, it's going to be like, Dawn here. And I'm like, yo. And we're going to sit here and be like, yo, she said it. I said it. I'm putting everything historically about manifesting, about affirming to the test. I'm putting God to the test. He said, ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be open. I'm coming. I'm here. This is my call time and I'm showing up. Catch it. Okay. So if that was good, and if you haven't already, or if you haven't been, I want to make sure that you follow Vitamin D for more content on all social media. Vitamin D Dawn Dai. And if you love it that much, you're like, you know what? I want some more Dawn. You know, I want some more of the original Vitamin D outside of Vitamin D Dawn Dai. I want to encourage you to follow me at Dawn Dai Speaks on all social media, okay? I love to hear from you. I love to connect with you. And can I tell you once again, thank you so much for supporting my dreams. It really means the world to me. It means like everything. Like, I'm going to show you because I'm not going to stop. And I hope you never stop for what you want either, okay? All right, well, I'm going to get out of here. And you know I'm in the business of making dreams come true. And I damn sure ain't going to forget about mine. So until next time, I want you to always remember that you are your greatest asset. Peace.
Get your vitamin D right here with me and get excited about your life.